In the meantime, thousands of travelers are now stuck in the region, including American businesswoman Christy Elmer, who joins us now from her hotel in Dubai. Christy, I understand you're stranded. You're sheltering in place right now. Are you still hearing strikes or the air defense systems? What's it been like?
Today's actually been quite calm. We had one strike this morning that was intercepted right over our heads this morning, probably around 8 a.m. And then since then, it's been relatively quiet, just a lot of fighter jets today. So it's really calmed down in, I would say, the last 24 hours.
You seem to have such a level head about this. I think I'd be freaking out. Do you feel safe? What's going through your mind?
Yeah, I honestly, we have been so impressed with the UAE's government here. They have done such an incredible job with their defense system. I think when it first began around Saturday afternoon for us, we were quite shocked at the explosions and you could feel the shock waves. And I think at that time we were very anxious about what could be. But what we saw over the last, 48 hours they have been incredible. I think hitting something like 93%, keeping it from hitting the ground here. So we've felt that they've done an incredible job, and the hotel staff has been incredible, making sure that we know what the safety routes are, anything that we need. My company has also done an incredible job keeping us updated. There's a crisis app, they're checking in. So we honestly feel quite fortunate in this situation to be where we are with a government that's I think has such a great defense system, and truly a group of people. If you walk around here, people are very calm. We went to the mall yesterday to pick up some supplies, and people were out grocery shopping. Kids were in their jumping park in the mall. There was a lot less people, but I would say it was still very calm, and some people still trying to go about sort of their normal activity.
The first flight out of Dubai International since it was hit just made its final call for takeoff. There's a handful more scheduled throughout the night. Any sense of when you're going to get out?
No, we've had flights canceled every day. In fact, my flight for tonight and tomorrow has both been canceled. So we have flights planned for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So the hope is maybe Wednesday is our chance to get back home.
Fingers crossed for you. President Trump warns that these attacks could stretch into next month. Do you have supplies? Should it come to that?
I think, if we get to that point, we'll figure out what to do. I think the government's made it very clear that hotels will continue to sort of keep people. So we'll work through that. Honestly, we're trying to just keep good perspective here, right? We have service people in harm's way, people who've lost their lives. And so from our perspective, we're in a nice place that's taking care of us, and, feel like the government's really worried about their tourists too, and making sure we're protected. So as much as we'd like to get home, we feel like we're not the priority, and we'll just kind of keep hoping for the best when it's time for us.
I am curious if you've had any contact with the State Department, if they're reaching out to, give you any guidance or trying to help. What has that been like, if any?
Yeah, we're registered through the system. And so we've been getting text messages, and there's, contact information if we need to reach out. We haven't felt we've needed to reach out. So we feel very comfortable that, they're in contact as needed, depending on what happens. And then the local government is sending out text messages as well. And we get sort of alerts when anything is critical happening.
Okay, well, I'm so happy to hear that you feel safe, and everybody there is staying strong. We certainly are seeing those alarming images out of the region, concerning for everybody who may be there. Thank you so much, Christy Elmer, for joining us. Best of luck to you in the days ahead.